All right, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, the 28th of March, 5:04 a.m., 34 degrees here in Hampstead, Maryland. It's a little chilly out, but the skies are clear. I actually saw the moon this morning. All right, here we go. Let's go out there and pursue some happiness. We've got 3 deliveries today, actually. 2 are in the van. 1 we need to come back for. We need to come back for the donuts. Big donut day today, actually. I don't know why. A lot of people are ordering donuts today. So there's that. So the first route is going to go down to Lenny's and Gourmet Girls. They ordered 150 apple cakes, and they have to be a special. They can't have flour in them, so they have to make a special batch of 150 apple cakes. I think it has something to do with Passover. I'm not sure what. So we don't have what we took a good number of them down yesterday. I think Bob did that yesterday afternoon, and then I've got some today, and I'm making some more to them. I don't know if we've got more cakes or we just have other products on Monday. They're going to get a big order on Monday, so they're busy. That's the Gourmet Girls. Yesterday, at least we don't have rain. Yesterday was rainy. That was a rough one. And we didn't have a very good, I looked at pieces of yesterday's live stream, and yeah, between the fact that it was raining, so you got the windshield wipers going, and it wasn't a good day. It wasn't a good day. Visually, it was not a good day. I also felt like the cars looked out of proportion for some time. I don't know if it was the whole trip or just the parts I was looking at, but like they looked like they were kind of squished. So I played with the screen a little bit this morning. I hope that took care of that. I just didn't like the way the cars looked. Ooh. I was on my way up this morning, and there was a very large raccoon sleeping in the middle of the road in the northbound lanes. We're in the southbound lanes, so I don't know if he's going to still be there. I rode over him. Like he went, by the time I saw him, it was too late to swerve completely out of the way, so we did one of those center rides where he just went right up the center of the I don't think he woke up, so hopefully he got up and moved his sleeping to another section of the road. remember exactly where he was, but I'll try to warn everybody before we get there. He's on the other side of the road though, so I will not have to swerve out of the way. So yesterday I created a short. I had gone to Fort McHenry on Thursday because I wanted to see if the cherry blossoms were blooming. And because they are. Apparently they are blooming in Washington. I went to the site. It kind of gives you a daily update of what's going on. And according to the Cherry Blossom Washington official site, they have peaked. They're peaking right now. And I don't know how long. I think they peak for a few days. So I am thinking that by the time I get there next Thursday, that they will be beyond their peak. But I don't, the next stage, like they have this thing that says, you know, blossoms, or I don't know what the exact words were, but well, like when they were, the blossoms were kind of getting all puffy. And then the next thing, it finally got to the stage of peakness, which is where we are now. So that was apparently yesterday. They peaked yesterday. But I think it's the beginning of a few days where they call it peak. And then after that, they call it fallen. Fallen, I think. Doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. So I don't know if I'm going to get there by next Thursday, if I'm going to be there by before or after fallen. But we'll see. We'll find out. The blooms were not open at Fort McHenry. But I walked completely around the fort. I don't know how far that is, maybe a mile around, it's completely around it. It's not too large. It took some, I didn't go inside the fort, so I just took some video outside. I put that together yesterday. So I put music to it because it's short. So I've learned that if the shorts are less than a minute, you can put a song. You know, you can put a song in the background. So I wanted to use Whitney Houston's rendition of the Star Spangled Banner when she sang it. She sang it during a Super Bowl game, I think sometime in the 80s. I don't recall the exact year, but it's a pretty famous version of the Star Spangled Banner. So I wanted to put that on there. So I did, and I loaded it up. And of course I got this, what's it called, copyright warning. It wasn't a restriction, it wasn't a strike. They were just warning me about it. And then they had this, it popped back up with a message that said it couldn't be viewed in certain countries or territories because of this copyright issue, which seemed weird. I mean, I've seen the warning that says, hey, you know, you used a song, but it's exempt because of this short exemption. I've seen that before, but this was a little bit more than that. So I was like, what? And I thought about it. I'm like, I don't even want to worry about it. So I removed that version, and I put a different version of the Star Spangled Banner. I'm using the Star Spangled Banner because that's where Francis Scott Key wrote the Star Spangled Banner, at Fort Buchanan. So I figured it's appropriate. The song is. So apparently there are some songs, I guess that maybe Whitney Houston or her estate or whoever it is that owns her material now, maybe they came across with a specific copyright rule or I don't know. But I don't want to get Whitney Houston on my back, on my backside, on my bad side. I don't want to get her on my backside either. The moon was very clear this morning. It looked like it was about 3/4 of the moon, if I had to guess. And I don't know if it's getting larger, you know, if it's in its increasing or decreasing stage. So we're either close to a full moon or we just missed one. However, it looks like we're going to get a lot of rain next week. Like the 10-day forecast looked like we might have sun today, tomorrow. I don't know about Monday. But then it's going to start getting, you know, rainy, cloudy for a stretch of days. The only thing I don't like about rain is the windshield. Makes it very difficult to keep the windshield clear. I didn't see the raccoon, so maybe he got up. Maybe he was just short nap in the middle of the road. Let's do the highway. Saturday morning, it'll be quiet. Green light. That was. All right, I have no idea what happened there. That was pretty crazy. I don't know. That was weird. It had nothing to do with my connection. I think this phone is a problem. I don't know. I might try a different phone. We're gonna go. We're gonna go in 1 second. We are at Lenny's. A little early. I like that. Car still there. All right, let's get this unloaded. Turn that around so you can see. Let's head in there. Get this done. Peeps. See somebody over there. There he comes. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Good.
Thank you. think the little whip topping on the top of those things is going to get hit. Put that tray on top. It went a little heavy on the whipped cream today. You got to watch that, because when you slide these trays across, sometimes the eclairs have too much. It's never too much, but sometimes they have a larger supply of cream on the top. Boom, done. All right, let me go get the trays. Do-do-do-do-do. Lenny's is complete. Oh, I get to do our gourmet girls. Just see something about this. I'll go here. Oops. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oops. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Looks all right. I don't know. This phone's been acting up today, so. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to try the other way out. the camera changes on its own when I flip it. It's like when I flip it back and forth, it's not quite as wide. I don't know.
Janet says, good morning, Craig.
Janet, good morning. Where are you? Have you gone to Florida yet? I don't remember when you leave.
Janet says, I am in Florida. I left Thursday.
Well, it got colder here again. We're like 36 degrees. So you're not missing any lovely warm weather here. My phone was acting a little weird earlier, like halfway down 795.
Janet says, I'm in Vero Beach visiting my aunt and then I am going back up to Orlando today.
Ah, very good. Is it nice down there? I presume it's significantly warmer.
Janet says it was a nice toasty 85 degrees yesterday.
Goodness. That's nice. Oh, look, she just got here. Oh, yeah, I'm very early. I just thought about that. I'm a bit early. But this is good. I've got an extra gourmet girl drop off today. Because, you know, they ordered like 150 apple cakes. I think it's a Passover thing. So they're apple cakes without flour. It sounds delicious. Oh, maybe they have sugar though. As long as they have sugar, I'm okay with it. All right, let's wait for her to get out of her car.
Janet says, so what happened earlier on 795?
Oh, yeah, so I look up, and I try not to look at the camera, as you know, but I just kind of glanced up and it had across the bottom of it, like, you know, it gives you choices. If it's disconnected, it'll say try again or end stream. Like that's the message I get when I pull out of the gas station if it's disconnected. So, well, that's kind of weird. So I hit try again, and it just flashed back with the same message, and I hit it again. Like, well, that's weird. So I had to restart the phone, and I don't really understand why. Like, it wasn't a connection issue. I didn't have any problems with my connection, so I'm beginning to think some of my problems might be the phone and not the Starlight connection. All right, it's time to deliver these delicious apple cakes. Good morning. Got here just in time.
I like to stay 10 minutes.
You deserve it, especially on a Saturday.
Yeah, especially.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Now he brought a whole bunch of these yesterday. Do you want me to put these in the same
What is this?
apple cakes?
Oh.
I think he put them in that room where
I don't know where he put it.
I think
I don't see it.
it sounded like they were back here.
Yes, I smell apple cake here.
You smell them?
Yeah.
Apple cakes. Go ahead. I got 2 more boxes. And I got 3 more boxes actually. Craig, don't lie to him. We're gonna try and do it now. Don't do it, Chris. Don't do it. Just take your time. Take your time. I'll be dropping 50 apple cakes or however many's in this thing. 20.
Those apple cakes.
Oh, I heard somebody say apple cakes. That's all I heard. All right, have a good day. Boom. Okie doke. What's like?
At off, Sean White says morning.
Good morning, Sean. Happy Saturday. Don't be here, make multiple trips. Yeah, I didn't want to, because those boxers are kind of flimsy. I don't like the idea that I'm going to have like a collapsed box situation. All right, so that is our second delivery, but we got to go back to the bakery to get the donuts.
Sean White says that's what she said.
Oh my goodness. Sean, what are you doing? Are you gonna get out early? Get on the road early? Oh, here we go.
Sean White says I am out now.
Wow. Making some money. You've been having some pretty good days lately.
Sean White says not yet, lol, slow right now.
Superior Tours.
Sean White says yesterday did 338. And a 1231.42 on the week Averson.
Wow. That's great.
Sean White says average is over 200 a day this week.
Yeah, that's really good. We're going to do $7.95. Janet, I think the cherry blossoms might be done by the time we get there next week. I looked at the website this morning and they said they're peaking. They're peaking. The cherry blossoms are peaking. They started yesterday. And they only last a few days. Maybe because it's so cold, they'll last a little bit longer. Maybe.
Annette says, wow, such a small window of time.
Yeah, at one point they said, like, they expected the peak period to be from the 29th to the 1st. So that's like 3 or 4 days. So if they started yesterday, they would be, I don't know what happens, like how quickly they go from.
Annette says you might be right. Hopefully they'll last a few extra days.
Yeah, maybe. But I went down to Fort McHenry on Thursday to see if I could find some cherry trees that were blooming. They weren't blooming either. I was bloomless. And I didn't think about the fact that it was opening day for the Orioles. So traffic was a little heavy going downtown. It wasn't awful, but it was heavy. Police action, police action. Whoa, people.
Annette says, did the Orioles win?
You know, I should know the answer to that, but I don't. I don't know. Now, I know Sean watched the Red Sox. I don't know if they won either. Sean, if you're still here, you might want to let us know. It was a nice day.
Pianet says, wow, you know nothing about donuts or your local sports teams. Ha ha ha.
I need to get up.
At off, Sean White
on
says
this-
they WIM 3-0 Thursday off yesterday.
Ah, very good. Very good. Off to a good start. I think next Thursday it's supposed to be cloudy, maybe some showers. So I am going to look at what I might be able to do down in Washington. Ooh. That was dumb. I've been riding along. Fortunately, I haven't been speeding. I totally forgot the fact that there was a state trooper riding right behind me. But I'm going to try to figure out what I could do down in Washington that would be indoors next week on that afternoon. Some place where they'll let you record video.
Pianet says maybe the weather will clear a bit by Thursday.
Yeah, I hope so. It's going to get warmer, I think. Like, it's not going to be this cold for too many days. We're back up to like the 60s and 70s, I think, within a couple of days. And then the rain comes for a few days.
Pianet says I am hoping I don't have any issues catching my flight with the long TSA lines.
Yeah, how was that on Thursday? I think BWI was pretty bad yesterday. think they had lines outside, from what I heard.
Pianette says I feel like I need to get to the airport by 3 a.m.
I
Yikes.
know. That's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? You could almost drive. I mean, Orlando's like a 12 or 15 hour drive, right? I think it is.
Pianette says I drove to Florida.
Oh, you did drive? Oh. Well, that was probably smart. But yeah, Thursday's going to be a pain. They got paid, supposedly. They were working on that. That doesn't help the ones that quit.
Pianette says I drove because I have all the baby deer with me.
Oh.
Pianette says plus I had some things to drop off to my aunt.
Yeah. Well, that's good. It's always, I always like having my own car when I'm on vacation like that, but did you drive straight through or did you stop somewhere? Today's Saturday, right? So you could have, if you stopped overnight, you could have gotten there.
Pianette says no, I'm weak and stopped overnight.
Oh, that's better, especially if you're driving by yourself. Plus, if you were going to your aunt's, that's pretty far south. Whoa, 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 we got deer, we got deer. There was a deer back there. Looks like he started to walk across and then turned around, I think. Because all I saw was the little white butt.
ready to make your day.
I know. They wait for me. There was a raccoon in the middle of the road this morning. I think he was just sleeping though. Somewhere along here. I don't think we're too far from them. I saw him on the way up. I didn't see him coming back. So I think maybe he woke up and said, oh man, I'm in a bad spot. I was surprised on Thursday how crowded it was at Fort McHenry. I mean, there were buses in there. There were like 2 or 3 busloads of people. And the parking lot was completely full when I got there. Well, I found a spot, but... But it might have been people that were in town for, oh, there he is. I think that was the raccoon back there.
Pianette says I have not been there in decades.
The last time I was there, the last time I was there was probably 2012. Because they had the anniversary of the War of 1812. Remember, that was when they had like all the Blue Angels and all the tall ships. They had a really big celebration downtown that year. So they had all these tall ships coming in, and I went to Fort McHenry because that was one of the prime spots for watching the air show. I don't think I went in the fort that time either, so I don't remember the last time I went into the fort. You can go down there and just walk around for free. But if you want to go in the fort, I think it's $15. Oh, and if you want to get a can of soda, which I was thinking about doing. So I walk up to the machine and I'm like, oh, I've got a couple ones. And I walk up to the machine and it was $4 for a can of Coke. I thought that was a little ridiculous, so I didn't do it. early sign of the sunrise over there. Could be a good one. Oh, and from Fort McHenry, you could see out into the harbor, you could see where they're making some progress on that bridge that had collapsed, 695. And like on both sides, there's a little bit going up. But I heard that Wes Moore, I heard that he got booed at the opening day. I think his popularity is shrinking.
Pianet says I saw the tube.
Kind of surprised me.
At Pianet says he is definitely losing his supporters.
I think that's probably a good thing. I almost went, you know, there's a place in Baltimore called Sherwood, I think it's Sherwood Gardens. Isn't there a place up in Pennsylvania called Sherwood Gardens? Or something like that? This isn't the place I'm thinking of when I was little. That was up in Pennsylvania. But there is some place in Baltimore, like North Baltimore, it's like they have a couple of cherry trees. I only know this because I was trying to find a place where I could see cherry trees last Thursday. But their big thing, they do have a couple of cherry trees, but their big thing is, I think, is tulips. Apparently, in a few weeks, when the tulips come out, they get a lot of visitors. So I was thinking about checking that out one day. Because I've never actually like tiptoed through this.
Pianet says interesting. I've never heard of them. At Pianet says haha.
I think it's a private home, or maybe it started out that way.
Pianet says I've been to Longwood Gardens in Delaware.
Longwood Garden. Is that in Delaware? That might be what I'm thinking about. Longwood Gardens. I know, I've heard of that. Yeah, I think I've been there when I was little. There's 482 East right there. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting sunrise. So we don't have a lot of clouds.
Pianet says the sky is getting brighter.
Yeah. It definitely is. Yesterday, Bob made a delivery, and when he came back to the bakery, he was like, "Oh, you know that house with the Christmas decorations?" He's like, "I think they've taken them all down." And I'm like, "No, they haven't." Like, they're still around the house. You know, there's like maybe it's about 75% down, but we've still got the quiet. I'm like going into this description about how and I was thinking to myself, he's got to be thinking, why does Craig know so much about this Christmas tree house? Because I don't think I've mentioned the contest. So it's kind of funny that, I mean, he thought he was coming in to tell me that, oh, he noticed that the Christmas decorations were down. But then I went into this, 2-minute explanation about exactly the status of the Christmas decorations and what's happened over the past several weeks. Like a total Christmas decoration dork.
Activianet says, oh, that's funny.
Alright. Time to get some donuts. Alright, go grab the, I have to write up an invoice and load the van up. So let me just leave this here so you can hear music while I'm gone. Alright, I'll be back. We got a van full of donuts, cinnamon buns, mini Danish. Anything else? Here we go. Our second or actually it's our third delivery, second trip. Yeah, see, we're gonna get some sunlight on this trip. Oh, here we go. Let's see if we make it through this. The Tunnel of Doom. Tunnel of Doom. I never used to think about the Tunnel of Doom on the way to What a Day, but it should have the same effect. I don't know. I don't know why sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. All right, here we go. If anything awful happens, I'll restart. I mean, right here, this shouldn't be bad. I don't understand. But here we go. We're going into the depths. The depth of connection. There you go. Cows are up. Looks like we're still on. I guess we'll be able to confirm the house on our way over. It's going to be bright enough. Oh, it looks like they had laid out some hay for the cows and they were all sleeping on it. So there's like a big muddy patch. But all the cows are sleeping on the hay. It's a little circle in the center. It's cute. Very cute. sunrise is not as colorful today. I mean, it's over there, it's happening, but it's not quite as colorful as it is some days. All right, here we go. The Christmas house. I won't move the camera for this one. I can do that on the way back, but oh yeah, there's still stuff out. That's unchanged. Hasn't done anything. He hasn't done anything the last couple of days. Those cows are all laying down. saw my phone flash something. I presume that means we were disconnected for a while. Green light. bike was actually moving pretty good. And I don't think it was an electric bike. Stay in the lane, Craig. Stay in the lane. I'm kind of in the driving zone this morning. So that's Saturday morning. High's gas will be up or down. I've seen some stations going down, like 389 versus 399. It's the same. Quick one. That's good. I don't think that I caused the drive-through bell to ring, I don't think. Yep, door's open. Let's load them up. There's a lot of donuts. The dog bone shelf is fully stocked. Oh. Good morning. Have a good one, guys. All right, that's it. Final delivery. Back to the bakery we go. It's really, oh, it's 31 degrees. I was gonna say, it feels like it's getting colder, and it is. What's up with that? Here we go. We don't need gas today. We're good to go. See a lot of Ford Explorers out there. I just feel like we've been behind a bunch of them today. Well, oh, guy let us by. I guess he felt like he pulled out in front of us, but it really wasn't that bad. Slowpoke up here. Smart car. They're so small. I was over here on Thursday, and I guess it was around 3:30, 3:30, maybe 3 o'clock. And the traffic was backed up at lights. And we were like, I don't know, 40 or 50 cars deep on a traffic light. Like, you can see the light. As an example, like up this straight ahead, the road sort of veers to the right. Well, there's a traffic light a little further up. And if that light had been red, we would have seen traffic stopping, in this area. You know, it was weird how long they moved though. As soon as the lights turned green and cars, like the whole line of traffic would just kind of move through it. So it didn't take a long time to get through, but it was pretty heavy traffic for the middle of the afternoon. That's why I'm glad I get this stuff done like early, so I don't have to contend with as much traffic.
Leo 1973 says hello, have a good day.
Hey, good morning. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi. We just finished our third and final delivery, so we're heading back to the bakery now. A little bit later than usual. I guess usually I wrap up between 7 and 7:30, so we have to make 2 trips today because they had a large number of donuts. Not just one a day, but I think that the basic break. The bakery's got several orders. sun is bright. Get your sunglasses on, everybody.
New York gal says good morning.
Hey, New York gal, how are you? Good morning. Got colder here again. Jeez.
New York gal says thumbs up 5. How is your morning?
Good, very good. We had three deliveries. We just finished
gal
the
says
third
it is
one.
freezing here.
Yeah, freezing here too. It's 31 degrees here. It was a little bit warmer earlier. I don't think it's going to get terribly warm today. Like maybe 40s, 50, something like that.
New York gal says high 30 here today.
A high of 30? Oh, yeah, that's not good. That's cold. That's cold. So you must be in the 20s now? Eek. Are you going to at least have sunny weather? Because we are.
Gal says yes.
Oh, that's good. That helps a little bit.
New York gal says cloudy some peeking.
Don't have anybody behind me, so I can go by the house slowly. We went by earlier because I had to make 2 trips today. Just one of the reasons I'm a little bit later. And you can see earlier that they didn't clear up any more decorations. Still pretty much the same. The choir, the big bulbs, the sleigh, the Halloween monster, and Snoopy. Oh, I never saw that. I didn't realize there was a fire hydrant there before. I think it's going to be cold for the next couple days, so I'd be surprised if we see much change the next 2 or 3 days.
York gal says haha taking their time taking it down long no rush.
I know. I mean, it's the weekend, but it's cold. Maybe he'll come out. It's going to be sunny. So, New York girl, I have figured out, or I've discovered this morning, that the cherry blossoms down in Washington are peaking. Their website said they peaked. They started to peak yesterday. And I think normally that's maybe a 3 or 4 day process, and then they the leaves start to fall. So now I don't know if the cold weather will slow that down. They said on the website that if it's cold weather, it can.
Gal says THTS great news. They are so beautiful. The cold may change that.
Yeah, I know. They said on the website that cool weather makes the blooming occur later. Like if we got really warm weather, they would bloom earlier. But I don't know if it means, like if it's cold while they're blooming, I don't know if that means they'll last a little bit longer. It kind of makes sense that maybe they would. But I might get the tail end of it next week. Because I think we're going to have some rain too. Showers and stuff.
Gal says saw your short. It was great. Blossoms was spelled wrong, but that's okay, lol.
It was? I don't think I spelled it. I think I copied that off of, really? I didn't notice
Gal
that.
says, are you going back when they bloom?
I don't know. Like, I could probably get to Fort McHenry. I might try it. I have to see if they're blooming today and tomorrow. Like they look like they were getting ready too. Like maybe they started yesterday. I don't know.
Gal says, how far is it?
Fort McHenry is maybe 15, 20 miles. It took me about, with a lot of heavy traffic, it took me 30 minutes. And I sat in traffic a little for that. So I think if there was no traffic, I'd probably make it there in 25 minutes.
Gal says, oh nice, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's right, sort of, I think that would be considered south. It's just south of downtown Baltimore. The day that I went there, it was an opening day for the Orioles. So there was a little more traffic than normal heading into the city in the middle of the afternoon like that.
New York Gal says, did you catch the sunrise?
Yeah, we did kind of get the sunrise today, but it was nice looking with the clouds and all, but it wasn't particularly colorful. It wasn't like the bright red colors that you get sometimes. All right, let's see if we can get through the tunnel. Yesterday, the stream died. better during the day. And probably
Short Gal says you cruising right along today.
that's good. I think it's better. I think the satellites are better during the day. I wonder if that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like maybe the way the satellites are set up, they're better in the daytime. Like the further you get in the day. My coffee went down the wrong. There's a big bird. Look at these birds hanging out. Alright, we gotta go over here.
New York Gal says birds have morning meetings too.
Yes, they do. That was funny that they would, Sean.
Short Gal says all done.
All done. 3 deliveries today. We took some cakes to the gourmet girls. So we did Lenny's, the gourmet girls. Then we came back and picked up the donuts, and now they have been delivered. So that is the end of our stream for the day. Today's Saturday. So tomorrow is 6 o'clock. I don't come on until 6, and we only have 1 delivery.
Short Gal says have a great Saturday and weekend.
Yeah, you do the same. Enjoy the day. Try to stay warm. Hopefully, this is the tail end of our cold weather. All right. I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping in.